What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma if you're new here, and this is vlog number 3 in our great adventure of Italy. We just got into Rome yesterday afternoon and we kind of had a chill night. Do you remember the dinner place we ate at? What it was called? Very good. We are happy because we just thought the food in Sorrento was okay, which is where we're coming from. So we're manifesting good food in Rome, and we had 2 sizes for dessert, which is a tiramisu place, and that tiramisu is pretty good. We eat like way more tiramisu than the average person, I think, because Chris really likes it. But right now it is the morning, it's 8 a.m. and we're going to get coffee at
TreCaffè and Bistro.
And probably get some like pastries for breakfast, we'll see. And after that we're going to the Colosseum. So starting off our time in Rome strong. We got some fancy coffee and yummy croissants. Alright, the damage is done. We are very messy croissant eaters. I got a pistachio croissant, which I think is the way to go now. I started with the cream, and then Chris converted me to pistachio because that's what he would get, and I thought it always tasted better. And now Chris is getting cream croissants.
Because I don't want to get 2 pistachio croissants.
Why?
Then there's no diversity.
But they're better. We can both enjoy the same thing.
Yeah, no, but I didn't know it was going to be better. Like, maybe the pistachio one wasn't going to be good here, but it was
It was pretty good. There's some block here for the police, but we don't know who's coming. But there's a lot of police for this. People are mad. I mean, they probably all need to get to work.
Yeah.
Wow. We're doing a tour, so now we need to figure out where to meet people. We're pretty early though. We like to be safe. We're making our way in. Fingers crossed we don't get pickpocketed.
Yeah.
We were strongly warned to be careful. But my bag has a zip and a top, so hopefully it'll be okay. It's so grand.
Here, see this?
Now we're at the Forum. There's so much greenery here. This used to be a stadium for Emperor. Chris says I use the word grand too much, but I don't know what other word to use. Just big, impressive.
Yeah.
That's what grand means in my opinion though.
How about...
I need some new words.
Let's see.
Grandiose.
Spectacular.
Fantastic.
Extravagant.
Okay, extravagant's a good one. This was a banquet square, and there's a fountain here that apparently was very exquisite. This is where Julius Caesar lived. Not much left though. This church, Antonino was like, if I become a god, my wife also has to become a goddess.
Most lit man ever.
What do you think? Would you do that for me?
Yeah,
You have to, if you become a ruler, you have to be like, Emma has to become a goddess as well. This is the Forum, which was always open like this and like not paved over. And then this is the Senate from when Caesar was in charge. There's not the first one, but they like moved it there. What was your favorite part of the tour?
I enjoyed the Colosseum. Learned a lot of interesting facts about how it was run. Like, for example, they had to chain the animals together so they would fight. And another thing I learned was that there was no toilet paper, so everybody that used the bathroom had to use a communal, like,
Loofah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, a sponge at the end of a stick that was in a basically a plunger, what you would think of a plunger today. But they would use that to wipe their butt. Crazy.
I actually really like that our tour guide went into depth about how things got built, because that's always my question looking at these like huge buildings, and I'm like, how did they build them? But yeah, you could see like there were holes for, they would like put wooden beams in the holes that they leave in the like brick so that they could stand on them to like keep building to the top, which makes a lot of sense. And then in this area, like in the forum, you can see that essentially like pre-Nero, they had lower roads and then Nero burned everything and built higher roads, so they can tell like when a building was built depending on like which road it's leveled with, which I think is also really interesting. I think that the Colosseum you could like enjoy on your own, but it would be hard to enjoy this area on your own because there's so much ruins, and like if you're not knowledgeable about it, you won't know what you're looking at. We want to eat here for lunch, but there's quite a line, so we'll see how fast it moves. We got quite the pizza sampler. What, this is like pistachio?
Pistachio and ham.
And what cheese?
Probably, I would say it's probably like stracciatella or mozzarella, but I don't know for sure.
This is just veggie pizza. This is like bacon with Parmesan cheese and tomato sauce, and then this is carbonara pizza. Quite the sampler. I'm excited to try. We are having another bread forward day. We love it. Yeah. All the pieces except for the pistachio piece had a really good like crunch to the crust. But besides that, I just thought the pizzas were okay. And the Parmesan was really salty, which we had 2 pieces that was just Parmesan. So overall, I think the veggie pizza was the best because the pistachio one did not have crunch. If the pistachio one had crunch, it would have been the best. But I don't know, it was like colder than the other ones and just not as crunchy.
I agree.
No other thoughts?
Yeah, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose in the pizza world.
I'd still rather eat this than the fried pizza though, actually.
Yeah,
the fried pizzas are just such a bomb, yeah. Any fun facts?
It honors Italy's first king and First World War soldiers.
What's it called?
Altar of the Fatherland.
It was only finished in 1912, I think the sign said, so it's not that old. It is very impressive.
Yeah.
We made it to the Pantheon, waiting to get inside. The line is long. Hopefully it'll move fast though. This fountain is beautiful and it's such a masterpiece, but it is an absolute madhouse here. Like, can you see how many people there are? We literally had to fight for this spot, which is like the 3rd floor to see this fountain. And this is off season because it's still April. I can't even imagine what it'd be like in the summer. Like, you must not even be able to move. And finally, the Spanish Steps, which are also, you know, decently crowded. There's a lot of shopping around here, though, too. And this is also very close to our Airbnb, which is why we're ending here. We took, like, an hour rest in our Airbnb, which was nice. Because we had a busy day today, and we have a busy day tomorrow too. We gotta wake up early. Now we want to eat here, and there's already a wait, and we're eating at 5:30, which is like ridiculously early for Italians. So it's probably just a lot of tourists, but we'll see. I thought that if we came at 5:30, there would be no wait. Because that's been our experience everywhere else. Everywhere else, people eat at like 7.
Hopefully it's good.
We got lasagna, carbonara, and then I swear this is a salad. I know it's hard to believe, but there is lettuce on the bottom. But it looks good, yum. They also give this like coffee liqueur for dessert shots.
Yeah.
This is gonna be our dessert, but alas, there's a line. Chris is sad because they didn't have all the flavors they listed, but I got pistachio and dark chocolate with chocolate on top, which I love this kind of like chocolate that freezes over the ice cream.
I got banana, pistachio, and tiramisu.
Even though he didn't like the tiramisu gelato before. How is the banana?
It's very banana-y. So I don't know if I like it that much. But sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
It seems like you lose a lot on your flavor choices.
Yeah, I just got flustered in the moment.
I thought that ice cream was just okay. it like wasn't flavorful enough. The dark chocolate needs to be like a really strong flavor. So just okay, nothing great. Wouldn't go again. Would try somewhere else.
Yeah, that's the beauty of gelato in Italy.
Yeah, there's a lot of places.
There are a lot of places to try, and some of them will not be that good. Some
yeah,
of
like
them will be
Chris's
fantastic.
banana flavor just tasted like eating a banana. Like
Yeah, it was like
that's not what I was
blended
envisioning.
frozen
I would say
banana.
it's more of a sorbet than gelato. Like I don't know what makes gelato gelato.
Yeah,
but
I
it wasn't
was-
like a creamy texture either.
Yeah, I was like envisioning the banana
ice
flavor
cream,
at
By
By
Right,
Right Creamery.
yeah.
That when I got it, but
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
We just got back to our Airbnb, but on the way home, we stopped at a grocery store because tomorrow morning we're touring the Vatican and we have to leave here at like 6:50 a.m. to get the metro to then start our tour. I think it starts at like 7:15 or 7:30. And essentially there's like some coffee places open, but like not any ones that we like really want to go to. And then if we go to a coffee place, we're gonna have to spend even more time and like wake up earlier. So we're like, okay, we'll just like go to the grocery store, like get some breakfast at the grocery store and like coffees for tomorrow morning because Chris is fine, but I am addicted to caffeine. And the coffee selections were extremely minimal in this grocery store. There were like 2 cold pre-made cappuccinos, which I'm not even sure what that could be because aren't cappuccinos steamed milk, but there's like no way that there's steamed milk in them. Like it's like branded like Starbucks cold cappuccino. So I'm like, I don't like even want to drink this. So this is high-key embarrassing, but I got a sugar-free Red Bull to drink tomorrow morning. So that's something to look forward to. And then I just got vanilla Greek yogurt and strawberries to have a little parfait moment. I was thinking about getting my pistachio butter I got in Sorrento out. And, you know, the breakfast portion is not bad, but the drink portion is bad. And then Chris says I can't even tell you guys what he got because it's too embarrassing, which I kind of agree with him. I'm not sure what he was thinking when he picked out his breakfast. But that's something to look forward to tomorrow. And it costs €9, which is the exact same price we paid this morning to drink 2 good cappuccinos and eat 2 really good croissants. So it's a little sad, but hopefully getting early to the Vatican will be worth it. And tomorrow's tour is the same company that did today's tour. And I actually really liked our tour guide. I thought he was very, very knowledgeable, very engaging, and he really jam-packed a lot of information into our tour. So I'm excited for tomorrow. I think it'll be like a good tour. But you know, breakfast is going to be a little sad, and waking up at like 6 a.m. is also going to be a little sad, but we will do it. We're only in Rome for a couple of days. Chris made some Aperol spritzes. We bought ingredients last night. Cheers. We have a balcony in this Airbnb, but it's not as nice of a view. We have a view onto a street, but it's just not where our balcony is, but it's still nice to have one. Also, it's so light out, but it's like 8 p.m. right now. Like we need to be thinking about, you know, showering, washing the hair, because that's a whole ordeal, going to bed early since we're waking up early. But we have some time to sit and relax and enjoy breakfast of champions at 6:40 a.m. Let's eat. We did it. It's 6:55 a.m. and we're ready to go. Drank my Red Bull, had my nice breakfast. The pistachio butter was very, very good. Do we have time to go to the Spanish Steps or no?
We're passing the Spanish Steps onto the
Okay, we're gonna try and see if we can take like quick pictures at the Spanish Steps because hopefully no one will be there at 7 a.m. We'll see though. Some other people had the same idea as us, but definitely way less bad than yesterday. So that was definitely the move if you want pictures without people in it, because I think we got some nice ones and at least there's not like 1,000 people in the picture. I wonder how the fountain would be, but we do not have time for that today.
It's probably still mobs.
Wait, like can't be like yesterday's
It's
though.
probably the first layer. There's at least one
Yeah.
row of people in the front, I bet.
Yeah, and yesterday was like out of control though. But good thing to do on the way to the metro. But now it's time to go to the Vatican. We made it onto the metro. Michelangelo's dome. These lions are from Egypt, made in 350 BC. St.Peter's Basilica in Vatican City. We weren't allowed to film in the Sistine Chapel or take pictures, but it was cool, very pretty.
I like the paintings on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel because they're famous.
Yeah, like the most famous
Yeah,
thing.
it's cool seeing one of the most famous paintings in the world of the creation of man. And I thought it was also funny that Michelangelo put his portraits and a lot of his work in like very salty ways.
This is the line to get into St. Peter's Basilica. It goes all the way around. Someone we did a food tour with told us it took like an hour to 2 hours. But thankfully with the tour we did, we could just cut the entire line.
Yeah.
So like, I think it's free
nice.
though to enter, but you would have to wait so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's worth it. I guess it's like a really cool thing to see though.
It is a grand church.
But now we're gonna walk to lunch slowly because it's only 11 and the place we want to eat at opens at 12:15. But it's quite a walk too, like 35 minutes. And I could have a first coffee of the day, second caffeine drink of the day. I'm quite tired after our tour. I thought the tour was very good, but there's just so much art. And like, it is cool, and our tour guide was very knowledgeable, so that was really neat to like see all the art and have her explain it to you and like see like the intricacies in it. But man, it's just like information dump for like 3 hours straight with basically no break. Like when we were in the Basilica, it was nice because we couldn't talk, so I was like, I just need this quiet time. But I did enjoy it. It was a good tour.
Yeah. It was basically like an art history lesson. Like,
Yeah.
It was very detailed and we saw a lot of nice pieces, famous pieces.
Also, our tour guide, she must be an art history major, because I feel like she was like we looked at some art and she'd be like, oh, this isn't that good. And then there's like a whole contemporary art section and she's like, none of this is like worth looking at, basically. Like she's like, oh, these are just like gifts to the Pope that like he just puts here, but they're not that good, which I thought was funny. Because if we looked at every piece, you would easily spend over a day here. Like
Yeah.
to look at everything, you'd have to spend like
Multiple days.
yeah,
at least.
more than 2, like all day.
Yeah.
There's just so much.
I like the amount of marble statues that they had, and I didn't know that they were painted. But we learned that they were painted, but now they're all just faded out and white.
For me, besides the Sistine Chapel, which is where like Michelangelo's work is displayed, my favorite was Raphael's rooms. Like his art was really good, especially because one room had like his painting on it, and then the other walls had his students' paintings on it, and you could really like realize how good he was. Like obviously you know he's good, but like a lot of the work you're looking at is famous, so it's all good. But then you see like the average painter, which is like not good. And then the other room I really liked was the map room, where they just had like huge pictures of maps, and our tour guide said they're very accurate, which is crazy because they had no way to get like an aerial view of things, so everything was mapped out on foot. Also, I'm wearing my Sorrento spritz shirt today because I was worried that all of my shirts would be inappropriate for the Vatican because they have like strict rules that you have to be covering like your shoulders and your chest, and it's also hot outside in Rome. Like I have long sleeves that were fine, but it's too hot today to wear a long sleeve. So Chris thinks I look like a tourist, but it's okay, we'll embrace it. it's pretty obvious we're tourists anyways. Oh, and one last thing is so much of their art is just from other places because they just like conquered those places and took it all. Like there was like Turkish marble and like Egyptian statues, a lot of stuff from Egypt actually. And that was true yesterday at the forum as well. One thing that was interesting there, which I feel like it was kind of brought up here, but it was brought up more yesterday, was that like new rulers would just take old rulers' monuments and like take the statues they liked and reuse them in their monuments, which I thought was funny. And I like never thought about. There's a lot of like recycling materials because the materials are really precious. Time for coffee. I got a cappuccino and Chris got a decaf espresso. He's a decaf boy now.
No, it's because I already had my caffeine for the day. Can't overdose.
There's no such thing as too much caffeine. We get to walk along this river on our way to lunch. A very nice view.
Trattoria Da Enzo.
And we got here 15 minutes before it opened for lunch. So it's 12, it opens at 12:15. Here is the line already. It's now 12:15, so it should be opening. And the line has grown significantly. So happy we made our first seating. It's definitely very crowded though. We ordered our food so quickly because we already knew what we wanted. So we're hoping we get it because like everybody sits down at the same time. So we're hoping we'll get it quickly. We're starting with a burrata, which looks so good, and sourdough bread. I'm excited.
I don't think we even put on red yet.
This burrata is the best I've ever had. Let's see what Chris's reaction is.
It's really good.
We demolished the burrata. It was so good. Easily the best burrata of my life.
It's the best cheese in my whole
Yeah,
life.
just bury me with this burrata. Like, I'm excited for the other things to come up, but even if all the other things were bad, I would still come here just for the burrata.
Would you wait in line for an hour?
Yes. Like, and order like multiple of them. We got some meatballs, which look good, and some grilled veggies, which I wish there was some more, but you know, at least we're getting some vegetables. We also ordered a pasta, but things just come out in like batches randomly here, so I guess we'll just eat this first. Things are coming out like fairly slowly. And finally the carbonara. I'm excited. The meatballs are good and the veggies are also good. Not like to die for, like the burrata, but still very solid. And finally tiramisu for dessert. We had to get two because we didn't want to share. First bite. Get in a big scoop.
Yeah, it's the best tiramisu I've eaten so far here.
In Italy?
Yeah.
So not as good as Don Angie's, or do you think?
It's comparable, but I wish if it had the crunch, it would be as good.
Sad.
But it's amazing. It's really good.
Alright, I'm excited to try. That restaurant was incredible. Definitely the best we've had in Rome, and maybe the whole trip. We had one really good restaurant in Bologna as well. And I don't know which one I like more, but out of everything we had, I think number one is the burrata, number two is the tiramisu, number three is the carbonara. I think that was the best carbonara that we've had in Italy. It's not my favorite pasta, but I do like rigatoni shape, and like it was very good carbonara.
It was probably the best carbonara I've ever had, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, in America, I don't even know if we like make any authentic carbonara, do we?
I make it at home.
Yeah, but you don't even use you use bacon.
Yeah, true.
And then number four is a tie between the meatballs and the bread. And then last place is the mixed vegetables. The mixed vegetables just didn't impress me, and we actually got mixed vegetables at a different restaurant that were really good. And it wasn't a lot of vegetables either. Chris and I might come back tomorrow. We have to decide. We have to talk about it.
I didn't think you were serious.
Wait, I just feel like there's literally going to be nowhere that's better than this in Rome.
Yeah.
Like, will there?
I don't think so.
I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of lame to go to the same restaurant twice, but also that restaurant was really good. But now it's already 1:30. It took a while to eat there. I guess not that long, like an hour and 15. But we're going to a farmer's market. What's the farmer's market called, or is it just a...
Campo di Fiori.
And it's supposed to be like popular. Is it gonna be fruits or?
I think it has like flowers, it has some like
Okay.
food. Yeah,
Because we need more food.
yeah, but that's just the way it goes.
We've made it to the market. Basically all the stands are the same here. There's fruit stands, and then there's like cream alcohol, olive oil, truffle, and cheese.
And spice stands.
Yeah, spice stands. But they did get us because we did get one cream alcohol because they had a lot of different cream alcohols. And we wanted to try banana. And then we tried raspberry, which was good. But then the guy was like, oh, just tried this last one. And we were like, oh no, it's fine. And he's like, no, just one more. And it was hazelnut. And that's Chris's like favorite flavor. So he really got us. How did they know? I guess people just like hazelnut a lot.
Yeah.
But then we're like, okay, we'll get the hazelnut cream. Throw back to 9 hours ago when this was empty. And now it's a mob scene. Chris and I took an hour break in our Airbnb because we were tired. I switched shirts because I didn't want to look like a tourist anymore.
We're going to a square in the park.
It's already like 4 p.m. The day is passing by quickly. But it would be nice to just walk around and relax a little bit. Rome's oldest obelisk that they took from Egypt. I don't think it's theirs then, but it was made in 1300 BC, so it is pretty old.
I mean, it's a nice square. There's not a lot of cars that are going around this part. Nice to stand and admire the greenery and the obelisk.
And the park is right here. Be nice to see some greenery. We made it to the top. We're eating dinner at this place. It's just a sandwich place that's popular in Florence. And there's no one here. And it's 6:20, so it's not even that early, but I guess that's still pretty early. We got the La Paradisa, which is like mortadella, some sort of cheese and pistachio. And then he cut it in half and he recommended a different sandwich, which he's like, I'll put in a to-go bag. So I guess we'll eat this one fresh and the other one we'll eat at our apartment. It's very, very good. I really like the pistachio. I don't think it's the best sandwich place we've had though. But
I think it's pretty good.
yeah, I mean, it's better than like any sandwich I've had in America.
Yeah.
So, still a high review. The pistachio flavor is like really unique though, which I like a lot. This is the other sandwich we got. Also, this is like one sandwich that he just cut in half for us. Like, these are big sandwiches. Let's see, salami. I can't tell what else is on it.
Looks like some mushrooms and some cheese cream.
Oh, I love mushrooms. And this was called, do you remember?
Fabulosa or something
Fabulosa. And what did he say? He said, I got the most popular one.
Yes.
And what was this one?
I don't know. He just said, I just asked what he recommended, and this is what he recommended to try.
Oh, maybe it's
Secondary
his
to that
favorite or
one.
something. I don't know.
Yeah. It looks good.
And Chris made Aperol spritzes again. Time for dinner part 2.
I probably like the first one better, but both are really good. I really like the pistachio cream in the first one in combination with the mortadella and the cheese. I felt like you could taste each individual flavor, and the crunch from the pistachio nuts was like a nice addition. But the second sandwich with the salami was also very tasty, so I have no complaints.
Once we started eating, we're pretty sure the second sandwich was eggplant and not mushroom, but it was very good. Very different flavored, so interesting to try both, but very big. And now for the rest of the night, we get to do laundry. And while we were at the park, we actually didn't have anything scheduled for tomorrow except for a food tour at 5:30 p.m. So we were looking because we had planned to like see some sites that we had already seen like yesterday or today because we had extra time in the afternoons. So we scheduled an Airbnb experience to go wine tasting and make pizza tomorrow for lunch, which is sad because then we can't eat Enzo's again. But I'm excited to taste some wine and make some pizza. It should be fun. But tomorrow's going to be a full day of eating again because we're going to make pizza and then we're going to go on a food tour. So gotta rest up tonight and prepare ourselves. It's the next day and we got coffee. At the same place we went to the first day, or like same chain, but this place had way less pastries, but it's also like 9 a.m. But we got 2 cappuccinos and Chris got a donut because the pastry selection was too pitiful for me. So we had some extra time, so I was like, oh, I'll just get yogurt from a grocery store to eat for breakfast because we have strawberries at our apartment still. And I got this high protein yogurt. You want to show it off, Chris? 20 grams yogurt. But then as we were leaving, we already paid. There was like a bakery inside this grocery store that was not attached to the grocery store because I already looked at the bakery section and they had pistachio croissants, which is what I wanted. So I was like, all right, I'll just eat the high protein yogurt tomorrow and have a croissant today. Waiting for the metro. Where are we going for the wine tasting?
Like the final destination. It's like Frascatali.
Frascatali. To see if they have good wine. And to make pizza.
Stick your fingers inside, feel the humidity inside.
Small break from pizza making to drink some wine. Second wine.
Third level is a work area.
What notes do you smell?
Tuscany building for the way it's structured.
Wine.
No, per forza. Last piece, but the old plants we done. Breakfast of the Roman people when they come up here.
My pizza.
Yum.
Time to sample. Apple and pistachio gelato. Interesting flavor combo. It's already like 3:20 and we're waiting for our train from Frascati back to Rome. What did you think of this experience?
It was interesting. The pizza that we made was pretty good. It was a lot more social than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
But I thought the informative aspects of the tour were not as exciting.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the pizza was like a really big information dump, or like the dough part of it. And then, yeah, I feel like the structure was a little weird because we like made pizza dough, but they're like, oh, you can't use this dough because you have to let it rise, which makes sense. And then, what did we do after the dough? Did we do the wine tasting? And then we went on like a tour of the vineyard, and then we ate like a plate of appetizers, and then we made the pizza. Then we ate the pizza. Then we had gelato and they like sang for like 20 minutes. The coolest thing I thought actually was the like volcano, I don't know, they called it volcano rock, but is it from like the magma?
Yeah.
That essentially there was like this cave formed from volcano remnants. And it's really cool in the cave. They would put the wine in the cave to keep it cool, which I thought that was like pretty interesting. It was cool. It's like underneath the like house or the tasting room. I think one of the best things we ate besides the pizza was the chickpea parmesan truffle. Was interesting. We haven't had something like that.
Yeah, that was good. And
I can appreciate we had at least some vegetables, but I'm not sure if we're going to be ready for this food tour in 2 hours. Oh no. Definitely could have stolen some postcards out of that box. We had some extra time before our food tour started, so we could mail these friend post postcards, where essentially in Venice I bought 3 postcards and I'm like, can I buy stamps here too? And they were $2.50, which seemed like a lot at the time, but it's just like whatever, like it's an international stamp, like I don't want to go somewhere else to buy these stamps. So I was like, okay. I kind of figured that he was just overcharging for Italian stamps, But no, there's this like scam post office called Friend Post that has a 1-star review in Italy and only has like a place to mail in Venice itself and in Rome. I don't think any other locations, which I did not realize until I was already back in Bologna, like writing out the postcards because I don't write them like right when I buy them. So thankfully we're going to Rome so we could mail them. But all the reviews are like, this place is a scam and like no one ever got my postcards. So we'll see if my family gets them. If not, it's not a huge deal, but at least we got to mail them. But yeah, don't buy Friend Post stamps. I got the classic pistachio and dark chocolate. Chris got hazelnut and pistachio. How is it? You just give it okay.
Pretty good.
I mean, it's gelato.
Yeah, I mean, it's on par. It's pretty mid.
Okay, so that food tour, I'd give it like a 5.5 out of 10. What would you give it?
That's a little bit lower than I would give it.
I don't know. Okay, I think like all the restaurants except the sit-down restaurant, like
How about, okay,
a 7.5 out of 10. But the sit-down restaurant was like a 4 out of 10.
You rated the other places kind of low.
Wait, no, I like them.
You said 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean like, because I feel like 8 out of 10 starts to be like really good. Like all the other restaurants we went to, would you recommend to someone else? I probably wouldn't.
Maybe the pizza place.
Like maybe, but I would be like, you could just go anywhere.
Nah, I feel like pizza's a little risky here.
I don't think so.
It's too diverse of a range. I mean, we're only eating the best rated
Yeah,
ones
but
so
I would
far,
just,
and
yeah, I know, but then it's
even
like,
those
just go
have-
pick out like a good rated one and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I think like all pizza is good if you're picking ones that you like the toppings.
Yeah.
But we started off and we got Parmigiano Reggiano 24-month aged, which, you know, 36-month is our favorite, but 24-month is still way better than 12-month.
Pecorino Romano.
That was the other cheese we got, which I actually really like that one. And then we got red wine there, but I don't know what kind of red wine. It was like fine, but
It was
not
like
like anything
60%
great.
Sangiovese and then like 40% Chianti Tuscany mix.
But yeah, I feel like it was fine. Like, I don't have strong opinions about it. And then we got porchetta bread. That was pretty good. Like, I like that.
Yeah.
And then after that, we got the Supplì.
Supplì.
Yeah, and that was good. That was like a fried risotto ball with mozzarella, which is not exactly what I expected, but it was good. I liked it a lot. And then after the Supplì, we had pizza. I thought the margarita pizza was good. All of the crusts here were very good. They were crunchy, which I liked a lot. Like very thin, Roman style, crunchy pizza. The margarita was pretty good. I wasn't a huge fan of the potato. Like the guide was like, oh, trust me, potato's so good. But I just feel like I do not need more carbs on carbs. But I feel that about all things like burritos with fries in them. Like I do not need more potato with my bread. So it was like fine. But I really like the mushroom and cheese pizza. Like the cheese was so melted and so good. And I like mushrooms, so that was the best for me.
And they had the Peroni beer, which is a light
beer
that they make specifically for drinking with pizza.
Our tour guide said a big thing in Rome is to like eat pizza, eat fried things as an appetizer, like the Supplì we ate, then eat pizza, then drink beer. Which just sounds extremely heavy to me. Like I do not want to do it, but the beer was pretty light. And another interesting thing our tour guide said was that Romans don't have a lot of beer because they always had like good drinking water. So they didn't have to drink a lot of beer, and then like they had good grapes. So that's why they have more wines than beers. I'm not a beer girly, so that's fine with me. And then the tour took a turn for the worse when we sat down to eat our like main meal. which I feel like we should have just skipped. The food is always better when you're just getting like one thing from the restaurant. So we got 2 spaghettis, and one was like tomato sauce and pork, like ground up really finely, and then the other one was carbonara, so just normal carbonara with pork cheek. Both were pork cheek, I believe. I like the carbonara. Chris was not a huge fan.
No, I mean, like, I thought the carbonara was better, but it's still the worst carbonara we've had in Rome.
I disagree with that. I think that we've had even worse carbonara. Like, this carbonara I didn't think was that grainy, but Chris thought it was grainy, so jury's still out on that one. And then the tomato sauce one was like,
yeah, that was
fine, but like, yeah, like, meh. And then we got a piece of veal and salad, and the salad was literally just like lettuce out of a bag with no dressing.
I think the point was you're supposed to eat the saucy veal with the salad.
Wait, I think that that's like weird, because I don't think that like that's like normal salad dressing.
I mean,
I don't
that's
know.
how they eat it in Rome, maybe.
I don't know about that one, but yeah, that was meh. The whole meal was meh. Like, all the places where we just got one thing was like pretty good, not like to die for, but pretty good. But I did not like the sit down portion at all. There was a lot of wine though, so I guess that's a plus, and a lot of water. And then we got gelato, and you could choose your flavors. So we both got pistachio, and I think the pistachio wasn't that good because the flavoring wasn't bad, but it had a lot of pistachio chunks in it, which I think was like a weird combo with like the sweetness of the pistachio gelato. But my chocolate was amazing. It was like 100% chocolate, no milk. Like, that was the description. And I was like, sign me up. Like, this is exactly what I want. So my chocolate was very, very good. I really liked it. It wasn't my like absolute favorite on this trip, but way better than like the other gelato place we got in Rome.
And here's the Pantheon behind us.
Wow. Fancy. What do you think of your hazelnut?
It was fine. It was better than the pistachio, but
Sad.
I mean, again, I feel like that gelato place was just like average for me for Italy.
I mean,
We've been spoiled lately.
I don't know. I really didn't like the place we got a couple of days ago.
I didn't like that one that much either, but it was because I got banana flavored and that was not good.
The best place was the place in Bologna that you said was too creamy for me.
Well, yeah, my favorite was one of the Bologna ones too.
So you said my 5.5 rating was too low.
I mean, I would give it maybe a 6 or a 6.5.
Wait, that's like pretty high. I feel like you're really unhappy when you're reading the mail.
I was really unhappy with the sit-down portion, but I thought the rest of the...
The sit-down portion was such a large portion, though.
Yeah, look at this is the line for the sandwich place we just got.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is the line sandwich place we got last night. But we went like when Romans don't eat.
There's a line here too.
Wow.
That's why they have 2 stores.
I know, it's just easy to eat early here. Like, it's way better than to try to like eat late and have to wait in lines. Also, we're always like the youngest people on the tours. And today, during our food tour, one person asked us if we were 21 when we were drinking the beer. They're like, have you had alcohol before because you're from America? And it's like, thank you, I guess.
The sad part is that the people on the food tour that asked us if we were like over 21 were like the second youngest.
Yeah, like how old do you think they were?
They look like 35 maybe.
But this tour wraps up our Rome leg of Italy. We only have Florence left in Italy, which I'm really excited to go to Florence.
Yeah,
but
me too.
I was a little worried about Rome because I've never been here, and Chris is like, oh, it's way busier than the other cities we went to, but I really enjoyed Rome.
Yeah, I enjoyed Rome more than I thought I would too. Like, I feel like the last time I came here,
You like only did
short,
touristy
so we
stuff.
only did the highest capacity
Yeah,
tourist sites,
stuff,
and
yeah.
everything just felt super busy and dirty, but I felt like we really
You also came
spaced
in the
things
summer,
out.
I guess, so like peak tourist season. Because it's crowded here, but it's not too bad. I don't know. Maybe living in New York has also like skewed perception. But I was expecting like literally like New York City, and this is like not close to New York City in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I'm going to end the vlog here, and I'll pick it back up once we make it to Florence. Let me know if you've been to Rome, and let me know if you've eaten at Da Enzo's, because that was definitely the best thing we ate all trip in Rome. I'm not sure if it beats the Bologna restaurant. The jury's still out on that one, but definitely for the cheese it did. I hope you guys are staying safe, having an awesome week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!